Hello and good afternoon to everyone. This is just a quick note that the webinar will start in 2 minutes. We will be starting at 7 p.m. So in a couple of minutes, I will be back, giving it some more time for some people to join us. So talk to you soon. So hello and welcome to this webinar about the Caldo Consortium. We are very excited with being able to do this webinar for Paraguay, since we have recently signed an agreement with the agency VECAL from Paraguay, and we are doing our first webinar for Paraguayan candidates that have an interest in studying in Canada. So we are very happy to have this possibility of being able to speak with all of you and to give you some understanding of what the Caldo is and what the Caldo universities are. So just to give you an overview of what will happen today, we will have a presentation that will take around 30 minutes. And after the presentation, we will be having a question and answer period. For the questions, you can use the chat box that it's just beside the image. You will be able to type your questions, and you can write them either in Spanish or in English. It's fine either way. But I will ask you to leave all the questions for the end, because I'm not able to answer the questions during the presentation. So starting with talking a bit about the Caldo Consortium, just for you to have an idea, especially since you are Spanish speaking, why the name Caldo? This is a curious name. Caldo comes from the consortium of Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, and Ottawa universities. So Caldo Consortium started around 2011 with 4 universities: Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, and Ottawa. And in 2014, 5 new universities joined. So right now, this consortium is comprised of 9 universities. And so that you're not thinking that we are a private entity, Caldo belongs to the universities. So we are part of the universities. We are basically an office, a structure that the universities created because they have a big interest in establishing close relationships with Latin America. So they created this consortium to be able to have a more active role in Latin America, and therefore represent the universities in all the countries from Central and South America. So let's start the presentation with why should you consider to study in Canada? Canada, as you may probably know, is a country that it's known for its multiculturalism. So in Canada, you will find people from all over the world. All the cities in Canada are usually some of the most multicultural cities in the world. And it's very common for you to be studying in one of our universities and have friends from all around the world. So that's a huge benefit, because some people are not used to having such a multicultural environment in their own countries. So this is always a very pleasant experience with being able to interact with people from all over the world. One other aspect that it's usually very, very strong in Canada is the fact that Canada is one of the countries that, obviously, if you have a certificate from one of our universities, the certificate will be recognized worldwide. So Canada is known for the quality of its education and obviously the reputation of the universities and the research that is being done here. So everyone with a certificate from a Canadian university will be recognized elsewhere in the world, anywhere in the world. One other thing that it's relevant in Canada is the amount of funding that the universities have for research. So either if you're interested in doing a master program or a PhD program or a visiting research or a postdoc, you will find state-of-the-art laboratories in very different fields. And that's a huge plus, because usually you will have all the necessary conditions to do the research that you are supposed to do in your field of interest. One other curious aspect about Canada is that it's a bilingual country. So Canada has two official languages, French and English. And some of our universities are more focused in English, others are more focused in French. And we also have the largest bilingual university in North America. In terms of the Canadian academic system, once you finish your undergraduate degree, what is usually called the bacharelado, you will have the option of going into a master degree that usually takes around 2 years. The master degree in Canada can have two options: the thesis-based master, that it's the master with research in the second year, or the course-based masters, that it's the masters that it's mostly comprised only of taking courses. So you don't have a huge emphasis on research, but you have a huge emphasis on courses. So it's what it's also called mestrado profesional. Doctoral programs are what usually takes place after a master degree, and it takes around 4 years. The two first years are usually related to taking courses and starting doing some research, and the last 2 years are solely focused on research. You will be working alongside the supervisor, and you will be doing research in your field of interest. For some students that show huge potential, there might be what it's called a fast track option in the master. So let's imagine that you have just finished your bacharelado, your undergraduate, and you're interested in doing a PhD, but the professor is not comfortable accepting you right away for a PhD. So the professor might say, okay, so you will start by doing 1 year of master. And if we feel that you are comfortable enough with doing research at master level, we will then, after the first year, start register you for the PhD. So instead of doing a 2-year master program, you can do the master in 1 year. One of the wonderful things about our universities is that they are usually mentioned in the most renowned rankings in the world related to universities rankings, either general university rankings or rankings by subject. The recent ranking that was published in 2016 by this agency QS identified 99 programs from Caldo universities in the top 150 programs worldwide. So this basically means that around the 9 universities from Caldo, you will find 99 programs that are listed among the 150 best programs in that specific field in the world. Once we will finish this presentation, I will distribute these slides, and you will be able to click where it says full list here, and you will be able to have access to this list. So for the time being, obviously, we're not able to do so because you're just watching a webinar. But once you receive the materials of the webinar, most likely tomorrow morning or early afternoon, you will be able to access the 99 programs that are listed in this ranking. So where are and which are the Caldo universities? The Caldo universities are 9 at the moment, and they are distributed throughout the territory. As you may be aware, Canada being the second largest country in the world, obviously the universities are spread across the territory. And even the ones that seem to be pretty close are actually not so close due to the dimension of the territory. So starting from the west, we have the University of Alberta and the University of Calgary in the province of Alberta. In the province of Saskatchewan, we have the university with the same name. We then have the universities of Waterloo, Western, Queens, and Ottawa in the province of Ontario. We have the University of Laval in the province of Quebec City, in the province of Quebec, sorry. They are located in the city of Quebec City. This is the French-speaking province. And we have the Dalhousie University in the province of Nova Scotia. So these are the current 9 universities that are part of CALDO. Let's look at each university and see some of the interesting aspects about them. One thing that you'll need to realize from all of our universities is that they are what it's called comprehensive universities. This basically means that they are universities that offer programs in all areas of knowledge. So if you're interested in studying engineering, social sciences, medical sciences, or exact sciences like mathematics or physics or others, you will find a program in almost all of our universities. Just for you to have an idea, all of our universities combined have around 2,000 master programs and 1,500 PhDs. So let's start with Alberta. Alberta is located in the city of Edmonton, that it's the capital of the province of Alberta. And it's a university that has a huge reputation worldwide. It is usually among the 100 best universities in the world, and they have very specific areas of research and of programs that are among the best in the world. For example, their program of pharmacy and pharmacology is considered to be the 31st best program in the world in this area. They are among the best 100 universities in the fields of life science and medicine. They have state-of-the-art research in the fields of virus-based diseases. And since they are in the province of Alberta, and for you, for the ones that are not familiar with the geography of Canada, the province of Alberta is where all the oil and gas industry is. They are extremely renowned, and they have an extremely good reputation in the fields of energy. Aside from that, they also have research excellence in the areas mentioned here: society and culture, science and technology, energy, humanities, fine arts, social structures and systems. One of the things that you will find very useful afterwards is we have different materials that are available in our website, in the website of CALDO, that have more detailed profile about each university. So I will not be going into a lot of detail here, but definitely I will give you the references of where you can find more information afterwards. The University of Calgary is located in the same province, in the province of Alberta. And once again, it's a university that is state-of-the-art in the fields of life science and medicine. They are among the 100 best universities in the world in the fields of medical research, especially neuroscience, joint repair, and stem cell production. And they have also state-of-the-art research in the fields of energy, mainly clean energy, what they call low-carbon energy systems. Aside from that, they also have expertise in these fields here: earth and science technologies, infection, inflammation and chronic diseases, brain and mental health, and human dynamics in changing world. Some of the designations that you will see here are general designations. So once you have shown an interest in a particular university or in a particular field, one of the things that CALDO does is assist you in finding the program that you're looking for. So when you go, for example, to the website that we recommend for Calgary, for example, you will be able to see that some of these topics, human dynamics in a changing world, refer to specific types of program that you will then be able to identify. Dalhousie University is located near the Atlantic Ocean, and because of that, they have developed a huge expertise in the fields of ocean research. They have some of the most advanced laboratories in the world. They have a laboratory called Aquatron Laboratory for research in the fields of ocean sustainability. They also do research in other fields, mainly research with batteries. So they have associated themselves with the North American company Tesla to come up with a battery that it's very cost efficient and that can endure all the necessary usage that an electric car needs. Other fields of research: advanced materials and clean technology, health and wellness, governance, society and culture, information science and communication, agriculture and energy and the environment. Université Laval. Université Laval, it's a university that has a magnificent campus, and they are located in the city of Quebec City. This is probably one of the most one of the prettiest cities in North America. It's a very historical city, and most students enjoy the spirit, the university spirit that exists in this city. The Université Laval, it's a French university. So it's a university that it's especially attractive to people that feel that French is their strongest second language. The Université Laval has developed huge expertise in the fields of forestry research, and they also have laboratories in the areas of optics and photonics, geomatics, and Arctic networks. So they develop research in the Arctic related to climate change. Aside from that, they also have a lot of expertise in the fields of agriculture and food science, cancer and infectious diseases, genomics, physics, optics, photonics, and laser, and economics, policy, and poverty. The University of Ottawa. The University of Ottawa is located in the capital city, in Ottawa. This is also where Caldo office is located. We are in the city of Ottawa. This is the largest bilingual university in North America, meaning that they have one of the most extensive offer of programs both in French and in English. They also have a huge reputation in the areas of life science and medicine, and they have one of the most advanced centers for quantum photonics in North America. They also have other very excellent laboratories in the areas of anti-vibration, construction, and nanofabrication facilities. Aside from that, and since they are located in the city of Ottawa, in the capital city, they have also developed a huge expertise in the fields of political studies and public administration, and so on. Queen's University. Queen's University is located in the city of Kingston. So the city of Kingston is halfway between Ottawa and Toronto. And this university is ranked as one of the best universities in the world in the areas of geography and area research. They also do a lot of research in the areas of fuel cell, high performance computing, and health services and policy research. This university was recently in the news because in 2015, a professor from Queen's won the Nobel Prize for Physics. The Nobel Prize was associated with one of the research areas of excellency, particle astrophysics. They also have cancer research, global and community health, sustainable energy, social issues as surveillance, poverty, and bullying. The University of Saskatchewan is located in the city of Saskatoon. The province of Saskatchewan is considered to be the barn of Canada, so it's where a lot of the production of cereals and agricultural in general is produced. So there is a huge demand for research in the fields of agriculture, and the University of Saskatchewan has created an excellent research department in both agriculture and also veterinary sciences. Actually, if you're interested in doing veterinary sciences, this is probably one of the best universities in the world that you can enroll in. And they also have what it's called the Canadian Light Source, that it's one of the leading centers for synchrotron facilities. Due to the huge expertise that they have in the fields of agriculture, they have developed so far over 400 commercial crop varieties, which shows the strength of the research done in the areas of agriculture and food science. Aside from agriculture and veterinary, they also have research expertise in water security, energy and mineral resources, Aboriginal engagement, synchrotron sciences, and One Health. Moving on to the University of Waterloo. The University of Waterloo is located in the city with the same name, pretty close to the city of Toronto, and they have expertise in very different areas. This is probably one of the best universities in the world if you're looking to study in the fields of computer science, mathematics, and geography and area studies. Their faculty of engineering ranks among the 57th best faculty in the world. And they also have one of the top 10 water research institutes in the world, the Water Institute. Waterloo is becoming what it's called the Silicon Valley of the North. Due to the huge expertise of computer science in this university, a lot of big companies like Google or Facebook have decided to open offices in Waterloo because they want to explore the resources of the university, mainly the university students that come out of the computer science program every year. Therefore, their research excellency is in the areas of mathematics, science, and computer, quantum information nanotechnologies, manufacturing and devices, materials and systems, environment and energy, health and well-being, and society, culture, and governance. So the only thing that Waterloo does not offer is the faculty of medicine. So if you're looking to study medicine, obviously Waterloo is not the choice for you. Finally, Western University. It's located in the city of London, Canada. This university is world renowned for the fields of psychology and business. They were recently considered to have the best international MBA in the world by the magazine Bloomberg. They have their program of geography, medicine, and statistics, and also chemical engineer is among the 150 best in the world. They also have state-of-the-art wind tunnel, and they are world leaders in the fields of brain and mind research, so in the fields of neurosciences. Aside from that, they also have some other areas that are mentioned here for which they have research excellency. So this being said, and having this brief overview of our universities, some of the things that you should also realize from the universities is that they are not only good because of the programs that they offer. They are also a good option for you to study there because of all the services that they offer to international students. So since our universities are extremely focused in receiving students from other countries, they have developed international offices, so offices dedicated exclusively to meeting the students' needs and making sure that their adaptation is as good as possible. So they have developed huge expertise in offering advice on daily things such as accommodation or day-to-day things like banking, grocery shopping, what type of clothes to buy in the winter. But aside from that, they also have other services such as languages services that students can benefit. So for example, if you're not extremely comfortable with writing in English or in French, there are services that assist you with this in improving these aspects. They also have services of counseling for students that might be enduring a hard time being away from home. So all of these services aim to provide the students the necessary structure for them to be successful in their studies and to feel happy in studying abroad. Early this year, there was a ranking published of which were the top 200 universities in the world that had the best rankings of employability. And among those 204 universities were called the universities: the University of Waterloo, Alberta, Queens, and Calgary. Obviously, this does not mean that all the other universities are not as good in terms of employability, but it's always good to know that these rankings acknowledge that more than one Calgary university is mentioned there. So talking now a bit about the Caldo and its services. So like I said at the beginning, Caldo is not a private entity. Caldo belongs to the university. So all of our services are free, and all of our services are related to providing the students the necessary support for them to understand which may be the best programs for them to apply in our universities. So one of the things that we do is once a student sent us a request for a specific program, for example, I'm interested in studying mechanical engineering, what type of programs do you offer for master? We will let the student know which are the options at our universities, and we will also assist the student in looking for suitable supervisors. So professors that will guide them through their research period at the university. In Canada, it's essential that you get a supervisor before enrolling in a PhD or in a thesis-based master's, because this will be the professor that will follow you throughout the years of your program. And this will be the professor that you will be mostly interacting during the course of your years in the university. So Caldo is a structure that exists to facilitate this contact and also to assist you in knowing if you meet the minimum requirements for admission. So when a student is applying for financing from his country, and this is important, he needs to be considering to apply to financing from his own country. So he does not need to have the scholarship yet, but he needs to have an idea that he wants to apply to financing. The student can submit a free pre-admission request. What does this mean is basically the following. The student will send us a series of documents, and we will send those documents to the university along with the supervisor name for them to let us know if the student is eligible to apply to the program that is interested in. So let's see one example here. So this is just a summary of what I was saying. So we are a free service. You submit documents that for this pre-screening that I'm talking about, and the university will determine if you are eligible to attend the program. So how does this work? We have a portal in the Caldo website that allows students to submit the pre-application, and this is free. There's no charge for this. The only thing that you will need to provide us with is the following. You will need to tell us how much financing are you able to obtain. So since we have established an agreement with Becal, if you're applying to the scholarship from Becal, you just need to tell us, I'm applying to the scholarship from Becal, and that's enough for us. Afterwards, you will need to gather the documents, academic CV, a language proficiency test, so it can be either the Toefl Ibt or the IELTS academic, if you're planning to study in an English-speaking university. The TFI, the DALF or the DELF, if you're planning to study in a French-speaking university. Transcripts of your original studies in English or French. So the transcripts are the Certificado de Notas, the certificate of grades that you had from either your bacharelado or your master if you're applying to a PhD. Okay. You will need that document in the original language or in English. Some universities already give the students the documentation in English. So if you already have it in English from the university, that's fine. You don't need anything else. And also you will need a statement of research interest. This is basically a document that states which are the areas of research or which is the area of research that you are interested in undertaking. Once you have uploaded this documentation, you will then need to identify a supervisor. The supervisor will be a professor that you will be able to find online. So all of our universities list their professors and their areas of research, and you will be able to identify which is the one that most fits your interests. And you will need to mention his name in this pre-assessment. And you submit all that information to our office. The link for this portal where you submit all this information is apply.caldo.ca. And once we receive this and all the documents are correct, we send this to the universities. So one important thing is the following. At Caldo, we are here to assist you. So whether you have difficulties finding a specific document, or you don't know, for example, how to write a statement of research or how to put an academic CV in the Canadian model, we are here to assist you. So we will be able to follow you throughout this process. And you can always save the information in this form. So you can just go there and upload some documents and save it. And then a few days after, you go to the platform again and upload some more documents. And when everything is finished, you submit it to us. Our website can be found at www.caldo.ca. And in this button here, Start the Application Process, is where you will have access to the database that I was just talking about. One other very good feature that we have is the browser, the program browser. So you can find out all of the programs that our universities offer by clicking here, and this will take you to a search engine for which you just insert the name of the program, and you will be able to see all of the offers in terms of master programs and PhDs. We also have this area here, resources, for where you will be able to find some videos and some promotional material of Cal universities. In regards to the scholarship from Paraguay that we recently signed an agreement with, we strongly advise everyone that before applying to the scholarship, obviously, you read about it and you get familiar with the terms and conditions of the scholarship. So if you go to this website, www.becal.gov.py, you will be able to access this page. This scholarship, obviously, now it's almost closing. It will close on the last day of this month, and it will eventually reopen later on, either later this year or eventually beginning of next year. So, but either way, I would strongly suggest that if you are considering to study abroad, that you access this website and you read the terms of the scholarship so that you're aware of which are the requirements that the scholarship demands from the students. Finally, I can be reached at this email, graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca, for any questions that you may have. So I am the main point of contact for all the prospective students. So all the questions that you may have, you can send it to me. You can write emails in Spanish. I will answer in English, but I can perfectly understand Spanish. So if you feel more comfortable, please feel free to send your questions in Spanish. And I'm glad to assist you in any help that you may require. This is the chunk of our presentation. So now we can go to a period of questions. So you can write your questions on the chat box, and I will answer them in the order that you are asking me. So we will have now a period for questions, and Luis is already asking if there's a minimum for the Toefl Ibt. So Luis, all the programs at the universities have different requirements, and one of those requirements is the English requirement. So you will find that some programs demand less, a lower score than others in terms of the Toefl Ibt score. Okay, so for example, programs in engineering might demand a lower score than programs in social sciences, for example. But one thing that I would suggest is, if you're interested in a specific program, you can try to find it out by yourself by going to our program browser, or if you're not able to find the programs, always send me an email and I will be glad to help you. Mauricio is asking, can you apply to the admission process without having the English test just as a TOEFL, because the Becal scholarship gives language? So you're right, Mauricio. The Becal gives the student language lessons. However, you will always need to present a test, because what will happen is the following. If the university considers that you don't have the minimum level of English required, what they will do is they will issue a letter, an admission letter, stating that Mauricio will be accepted in our program as long as he meets the minimum level of English. So what will happen afterwards is you will take that letter to Becal, and Becal will eventually be able to finance some of the an English program for you to improve the level of language that you require. Sebastien, I work as a consultant for a company that is in Canada. Can I continue working with them, or do I have to quit? Well, Sebastien, once you're working abroad, once you're studying abroad, if you are studying with a student visa, with a student permit, and please note that you will need to verify this with the immigration services, but usually what happens is you can only work part-time when you're studying abroad, when you're studying in Canada. So you can definitely still work with them but not on a full-time basis. This is also something that obviously, if you're already working with a Canadian company, you can discuss with them which will be the modalities that they would accept, that you would still continue to work while you're studying in Canada. But definitely there is the possibility of working and studying while you're here. One of the things that I will also be sending you tomorrow is the link for the immigration website, where you can find a lot of information on what are your rights and what things you can do while you're studying in Canada. And one of the things is definitely to be able to work for some hours during the week. Another thing that it's also relevant for you to know is that you are eligible to bring your family with you. So if you have a partner, or if you have partner and children, you are able to bring them with you while you're studying here. And your partner will also have a visa, and she will be able to work while you're studying. Edit, you will need a visa. So the rules basically is, if you're doing studies for more than 6 months, you will need a visa. You will need a student permit. That's what it's called. If you're studying for less than 6 months, then no, you don't need one. That's the general rule. However, like I said, you will be able to find a lot more information on the immigration website. Let me see if I have here some reference to the link, because I can upload the link on the chat box. And for you that are interested in studying here, there you go. So you have in there a link that I have just uploaded that has information on how to study, or the requirements to study in Canada. One other thing that I would like to mention is that obviously studying in Canada can be an experience that some of you might think it's overwhelming, because a lot of people mention the winters in Canada. Oh, it's so cold. But one of the interesting things for students from Latin America, I think it's exactly experiencing something different. So having the opportunity to live in a country that has all the 4 seasons of the year, it's an experience that most people find fascinating. So I think that contributes even more for the enrichment of the experience. Louise is asking, when does class for a PhD start? In what month? Louise, usually the classes start in September or in January. However, there are programs that accept students in other months. Okay, so it's always a matter of arranging things with sometimes the supervisors. There are departments that are more flexible, but usually it's September or January. Maria is asking if we have programs in arts. Definitely, Maria, we have programs in arts, and the only thing that I'm not able to confirm is if Becal would finance such a program, because there are certain rules as to which type of programs they finance. So I would suggest that you would go to the website that I mentioned before and just give it a quick look to see if they would finance such a program, because usually they are less flexible with programs related to arts, and even sometimes certain social sciences. So feel free to write any additional questions that you have, because like this, you can have all your doubts cleared in a very quick way. One other thing that it's probably interesting for you to know is that we have signed an agreement with Becal recently. So since it's a very recent agreement, there is very little time to get an admission letter right away from one university to still apply to the scholarship until the end of the month. So the time is very short now. But definitely start looking into a program with enough time. So for example, if you're planning to start your studies in January next year, or even in September or during next year, 2017, start looking now, because these are things that take time. Joyce is asking, is there a specific period of time in which the university receives the application, or do they receive them throughout the year? So Joyce, this depends on the departments. Some departments assess the applications only for a certain period of the year. But what happens with Caldo is the following. We always invite students to submit pre-applications anytime during the year. Because what happens is, even if the department of one university says that they cannot assess it, probably another university can. So if you're submitting a pre-application to more than one university, you have a very good chance of having some sort of feedback from at least a couple of them. Okay, so some universities might not be able to offer you an admission during all the periods of the year, but others might. So our advice is to always submit an application whenever you're ready, or whenever you have the information to do so. So any other questions that you may have, please feel free to write them down. I'm pretty sure that all of you can see the questions that you're asking. So Nettie, if the agreement between Caldo and Becal has a limited number of applicants, no, there is no set limit of applicants that can receive the scholarship. So in theory, if the committee that assesses the scholarship at Becal finds that you are a suitable candidate, it's very likely that you will get the scholarship. Obviously, this depends on their criteria of assessment, that you will probably find some information on the website. But yeah, there is no set limit of applications. So Rebecca here, could you please tell the applicants that it would happen if they do not reach the language requirement? You will offer pre-session language training some weeks for. So Rebecca, what I found out from Becal is that there is a possibility of offering a couple of months for actually, sorry, Rebecca. Now I realize that. So Rebecca, by the way, yes, it's good. I was not aware that Rebecca would be online. So Rebecca is a representative of Becal, actually, and Rebecca was just explaining me that there will be some language training made available to candidates either in Paraguay or abroad, for the ones that do not meet the minimum requirement of language. Rebecca, if you don't mind, eventually I would request you. I believe you told me that there was a maximum number of months that they could attend. Abroad. If you could just remind me by writing in the chat box what is the number of months that they are entitled, I would appreciate. So Rebecca once again is clarifying that they offer scholarship for arts at the Libro Branco of CONACYT. It states that the productive sector industrial. So this is a nice surprise to have Rebecca online, because she can clarify things on the Becal side. So Lillian is asking, some universities need the transcripts and degree certificates to be sent directly to them by issuing institution, but my university doesn't offer that service. What can I do about that? Would those Canadian universities accept the documents sent by me? You're totally right, Lillian. So most of our universities, in fact, they require the documents to be sent directly from the university. If you do not have, or if the university does not have that chance, there are other possibilities. One of those possibilities is for them to just put the documents on an envelope from the university, close the envelope, and just sign on the envelope that those documents are being issued by the university, or something like that. And then you can send them to the universities here in Canada. Usually there are ways around this that we can explore, so that obviously candidates are not left out because of missing documents. So if you're trying to apply to one of our universities and you're having this particular problem, let me know, and I will be able to see what are the options that we have. Usually what the universities do not want is to receive the documents directly from the student without any sort of additional information. That's usually the thing that they are trying to avoid. So please feel free to write any additional questions, and since that we also have the option of having Rebecca from Becal online, probably you can even ask some questions related to the scholarship, because she will be able to assist us on the details. So Rebecca is now confirming that it's correct. The student can undertake the English language training abroad up to 3 months, depending on the need that he may have. Yeah. This is a very good possibility that Becal offers. A lot of the scholarships from other countries, they don't offer this possibility. So it's wonderful that Becal is offering the Paraguayan candidates the option to improve the English, because this is usually one of the main reasons for students not being able to apply to a university in an English-speaking country. So you are very privileged to have this option in the scholarship from Becal. This is a wonderful addition to the advantages of having this scholarship. Mariela is asking, la fecha límite de la beca es hasta 31 de mayo para la presentación de documentos en esta tercera convocatoria, pero antes que hay que enviar una nota a la universidad de interés y una vez que sea aprobada recién se puede seguir con todos los requisitos, ¿verdad? So just for me to... So usually, and Rebecca can correct me if I'm wrong, but usually what happens is you will need to have an admission letter from the university to submit to Becal for them to have the information that you have submitted all the necessary documents to the university and that you received an offer, even if the offer might be conditional, for example, to improving English. But I believe that having an admission letter from the university is essential for you to finalize your application to the scholarship. So I think that before the end of this month, you would need to have an admission letter from one university. Luis, is there medical insurance that we have to get during the scholarship? Yes, Luis, all the international students will need medical insurance. And like Rebecca is confirming, Becal offers medical insurance. Viviana, ¿tiene algún programa de maestrados para arquitectura? Yes, Viviana, we have master programs for architecture. If you go to our program browser in the website, or if you send me an email, I'll be able to share with you which are the options that you have. I would just take the chance to just ask Rebecca. Oh, there you go, Rebecca. Thank you. Rebecca is just confirming that since you will need to have an admission letter to apply to the beca from Becal. Joyce is asking, would the university accept other official documents that said that I finished my undergraduate instead of the diploma? I don't know if my question is too specific, but maybe you've had a case like this. I finished my degree early this year in a university in Brazil, so they take a long time before they send it back to Paraguay. So, Joyce, you don't need the diploma, actually. You just need the Certificado de Notas. Usually, it's easier to get the transcript, what it's called here, the transcript, the Certificado de Notas, than the diploma. So we don't need the diploma. The document that states that Joyce has just finished her undergraduate in this particular program, and it's a document that you put on the wall. We don't need that. What we need is a document that have all the disciplines, all the courses that you did, and the grades of each course. That's what we need, and that's what you should ask the Brazilian university to give you. And eventually, they should be able to give you that in a relatively short period of time. Elias is asking, do Canadian universities offer letters of conditional admission? Yes, Elias. All the universities offer conditional admission letters. So when a student does not meet all the admission requirements, the university will usually say that Elias will be able to apply to the PhD in whatever, or the master in a specific course, and he will then be able to have an unconditional offer once he meets, for example, the language requirements, or doing some sort of other tests. Sometimes for certain programs, you might need to do tests like the GRE or the GMAT. So those are all things that would be mentioned in the letter. So in the conditional letter, in that case. So any additional question, feel free to ask. We still have some more minutes left. So I would also ask Rebecca. Rebecca, is there any email or any phone number or any sort of contact that anyone that has questions about the Beckhouse scholarship can contact, in case they have any questions? So if you can just give us an idea of the type of contact information that people can use to get in touch with Beckhouse should they have any questions about the scholarship. So Joyce is asking about the pre-admission part. So Joyce, basically what I said before was that students that are interested in applying to any of our universities and are also considering to apply to us some funding from their countries, such as, for example, the Beckhouse scholarship, can submit the pre-admission request. So that pre-admission request is a tool that allows them to know if they meet the minimum requirements to be admitted in the universities that they would like. So we have 9 universities. In theory, you can apply to all of the 9, or you can pre-apply to all of the 9 and see what they tell you. Once you have defined which university you are interested in, you will then need to submit a formal application to that university. So the formal application to the university is done in the university's website. Okay, so let's imagine that you applied to all of the 9 universities and you got a positive reply from the University of Western. So you decided, okay, I'm going to apply to the University of Western. So once you've decided that, you will need to go into the Western application form, and you will need to submit a formal application there. Okay, the staff at the universities are able to assist you on this, but this is basically what follows the pre-admission. Okay, it's you have the pre-admission and then you have the formal application to the university. Okay, I hope this is clear now. So Karina is asking, ¿qué nivel de inglés es necesario para acceder a los programas de maestría? So Karina, like I said before, it varies. Some programs are more demanding than others. I would say that, for example, for a Toefl Ibt, you would need to have at least 80. Okay, for the IELTS academic, you would need to have at least a 6.5 to be eligible to apply to at least some of the most common programs. So Mauricio is asking, can I ask something specific to Rebecca? I already have an admission letter from a university. It's a master degree in book design. It is taught master, but I don't know if it's productive sector or others. Could you tell me? Okay, so this is a good question. Mauricio, Rebecca is just sharing her email. So this is an excellent question to send her by email, and eventually she will be able to give you more information on that. Also, Rebecca is sharing a phone number. So thank you, Rebecca. Okay. So I guess that Mauricio and I would advise any of you to share your doubts with Rebecca, because she will be able to assist you in all the major questions on the scholarship. Because at Caldo, obviously, since this is a very recent agreement, we are not yet still familiarized with all of the details. So Rebecca is definitely the person to contact for this. So we are reaching the end of our webinar. If there is one last set of questions, please feel free to write them down. And I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank Rebecca for being able to be here with us to answer the questions. If the pre-admission, Joyce is asking, if the pre-admission on some universities denied, can I still apply to the others? Definitely, Joyce. The pre-admission is just for informative purposes. So basically, it's just to let you know which universities are able to offer you, or which universities you are able to meet the minimum requirements for admission. Okay, so it's a tool that it's used for candidates. Yeah, it's free, and it's for informational purposes. So, Elias, there is no specific convocatória para o Caldo. And the scholarship from Becal, the scholarship that I mentioned on one of the slides, is basically the one that you will need to apply. This one here, the one that it's mentioned, like terceira convocatória, Beca Dom Carlos Antonio Lopes. That's basically. So Luis, everyone, where can we write you an email? So Luis, my email is graduate. Wait, sorry, I'm gonna write it here. So tomorrow, all of you will receive an email from me with the webinar, with the slides in a PDF, and you will also have access to the link where this webinar took place. So this webinar is being recorded, so you will have access to the recording, and you will have access to other links that you will find interesting, mainly the immigration to Canada, and other sources of information. However, I would strongly advise all of you to get in touch with me if you have any doubts, and also if you have doubts related to the scholarship. So Rebecca has been kind enough to provide her contact so that all doubts can be clarified. And once again, we are very thrilled and we are very excited to have the opportunity to work with Paraguay. You have a wonderful scholarship available to you, and I'm pretty sure that you will be able to make the most of it, should you be interested in studying abroad. Elias is asking if you still have time to receive an admission letter before May. It's highly unlikely, Elias. This is a process that usually takes around at least 3 to 4 weeks, at least, and you need to have all the documents ready to go, all the requirements, there needs to be everything ready. So it's highly unlikely that until the end of the month you will be able to get a scholarship. But I would strongly advise you, sorry, a scholarship, no, an admission letter. But I would strongly advise you to start thinking about it right now if you're planning to apply to a next call. Joyce is asking, are admissions to Canadian universities paid? The admission process, usually to submit an application, usually there's a fee of around $100. Okay, so there's that fee that needs to be paid at the moment of submitting a formal application. So Jasmine is asking, BC University is not in the list. No, UBC is not part of Caldo. That's That's correct. UBC is not part of Caldo. So I would like to thank you all for being part of our webinar. Our time is running out, and like I said, tomorrow I will be sending everyone an email with the resources and the information that we just talked about here today. And I wish you all a pleasant end of the a pleasant afternoon. And if you have any questions, you will have always my email to contact us, and I will be able to reply to any questions that you may have. Okay, so thank you so much, and please feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you. Enjoy the evening.